In Venezuela, citizens participated in the Great National Consultation called Communes Can Do More with the objective of defining popular projects for the communities. In Ecuador, early polls show President Daniel Noboa's proposals on Sunday's referendum were rejected. In Israel, military intelligence chief Aharon Haleva resigned due to his responsibility in the regime's failure before the Palestinian resistance operation Al-Aqsa flood. Hello, welcome to From the South. I'm Luis Alberto Matos from the teleSUR studios in Havana, Cuba. We begin with the news. In Venezuela, people participated in the Great National Consultation called Communes Can Do More with the objective of defining by vote the election of priority popular projects for the communities. 15,617 voting centers were set up in the 23 states of the South American nation for this day of voting. In this consultation called by President Nicolas Maduro, all Venezuelan men and women over 15 years of age participated. The citizens chose among nearly 23,000 social projects proposed by the more than 4,500 communes located in the national territory. These projects are aimed at sectors such as health, education, food security, environment, public services, and economy, and the elected ones will be financed by the government and executed by the organized communities themselves. In Venezuela, President Nicolas Maduro congratulated the citizens and community councils at the national level, highlighting the popular consultation as a historic milestone in the country.
Truly, we must multiply this experience, make it a permanent practice, and make it a daily practice. It is the daily democracy. A true democracy is the one that trusts in the people, the one that gives them the voice, the word, the right to decide their affairs as neighbors. I congratulate all the community councils, the 4,500 community circuits. What a beautiful people, what a beautiful democracy, what a freedom so well earned and so well defended. A beautiful day, a truly historic milestone.
International observers accompanied the process of popular consultation on communities projects. Our correspondent Gladys Quesada provides us for details on the experience.
On Sunday, more than 200 international observers gathered in Venezuela to accompany the popular consultation on communes. They came to see how the people are being asked about their specific needs and to allow solutions to be found from there. Many come from progressive social movements and consider this process as a possible path.
I've found this process so far already, learning about it, very inspirational. I'd like to bring back that feeling of inspiration and struggle from Venezuela back to Australia.
In their trip to Caracas, the observers had the opportunity to learn how each commune, in assemblies and grassroots discussions, identified their most pressing problems, improving water and electricity services, repairing common infrastructure, watching over the state of the highways and the roads, concerns that are not far from their own. For others, it is an experience that they hope will be replicated at home.
The people participation in the decision making of the various projects in the community, that is something very impressive. Like the people decide and vote which projects they want the government to fund. That's something I've not seen anywhere else, so it's something very nice.
In their goal of taking part in the consultation, many of them took route to the hills in Antímano. There, they learned about communal strategies like a social dining room that feeds the most vulnerable or a textile workshop that makes and provides free of charge school clothes. Many take with them the impression of a process as wide and complex as this one. Others understand that more about popular power, and some take another values.
Hugo Chavez to start to reorganize political, social processes in Venezuela many years ago, and now Nicolas Maduro more to continue this process in Venezuela. So I think it will be a very good experience, personal experience, and of course for future processes too.
From the consultation will come out winning projects that aim to improve the life of Venezuelans from their own decision under the premise that popular power is possible. Gladys Quesada, teleSUR, Caracas, Venezuela.
In Ecuador, proposals of President Elena Rodriguez, according to the numbers out of the poll stations, lose on the central questions of his referendum. Let's remember that the referendum has the goal of approving or rejecting popular consultation initiative promoted by the executive on security, labor and international arbitration issues. The first results show that citizens rejected by a wide margin proposals to recognize international arbitration for investment disputes and to introduce fixed-term and hourly employment contracts. Both of the proposals were on the spotlight of Noboa's administration. Earlier, Diana Atamain, head of the National Electoral Council, declared that at the end of the day, 78% of citizens participated in the electoral exercise. Let's go now with our correspondent in Ecuador, Elena Rodriguez, for more details on Sunday's setback for Noboa's government.
Hola, qué gusto saludarte. Saludos también para nuestra audiencia.
Hello, it is a joy to greet you. Greetings also to our audience in Latin America and the world. That's right, a strong political setback suffered the president of this country, Daniel Noboa, when facing the result of the popular consultation and the referendum where the core part, the heart, was rejected by the Ecuadorian people. I am referring to questions D and E, related to the hourly and fixed-term contract, and also the international arbitration, which in its majority, Ecuadorians voted no. According to the count made by the National Electoral Council, even though the results have not yet been made official, more than 60% of Ecuadorians, according to the counted votes, showed their position of rejection to this plan developed by President Daniel Noboa. We must say that political, social, trade union, progressive, leftist, students, indigenous movements, registered with the National Electoral Council to carry forward the proposal for the no in these questions, D and E, considered as the core, considered as the heart of this referendum. According to experts, the rest of the proposals, the other questions that were raised for this popular consultation were considered as a hook, as filler, to carry out this consultation that was promoted by the executive branch. So much so, that President Daniel Noboa did not go out to give statements to the press. It was foreseen that in a press conference he would issue his position at 4 p.m. yesterday, Sunday. Then that time was moved to 5 p.m. It was the Secretary of Communication, Robertus Urieta, who went out to the press and said that the president was with his family, and that he would express his position once the official results were released. Later the president published through his social medias a picture with his team, with his cabinet, in which he looked happy, and like the winning team, he said. However, many analysts and experts consider that this is a political setback, and a strong message of rejection by the Ecuadorian people to the government of Daniel Noboa. We will be looking forward to the reactions that arise throughout this day, and that will put in context what will happen in the future.
In Colombia, right-wing sectors rallied against President Gustavo Petro in several cities of the country. This Sunday ended as a typical day, having no complaints of violence or repression. Demonstrators mobilized to show their disagreement with the social reforms promoted by the government of the historic pact. On these protests, there were heard expressions of discontent and even life-threatening messages to the president, which Petro denounced. Notwithstanding, on May 1st, a new march has been called for backing up the government. In view of this situation, President Gustavo Petro posted on X that rallies against the government had around 250,000 protesters across the country. Riots prevailed in the following order: Medellin, Bogota, and Bucaramanga. Meanwhile, regarding the rest of the 18 cities, demonstrations have been weak. Likewise, Petro underscored it is not about splitting the country up as it is already divided. It is about the population's voices be sounded off. In the face of these different voices, the government will find ways of understanding. However, if the right wing wants to circumvent the elections and disrespect the people's vote, there will be no understanding. The national pact is for the future and not for the past. Let's take a short break, but remember you can join us on TikTok at teleSUR English, where you will find news in different formats, news updates, and much more. Other stories coming up. Stay with us. Welcome back from the south. Israel's chief military intelligence resigned this Monday due to his responsibility in Tel Aviv's failure before the Palestinian resistance operation Al-Aqsa flood last October 7. The Israel Defense Forces reported in a statement that Major General Aharon Haliba had asked to step down from his post, holding himself responsible for military inaction that did not prevent the incursion of the Al-Qassam brigades, the military wing of Hamas. This will be the first resignation of an Israeli political or military official since then, in what was the biggest breach of Israel's security since its founding in 1948. According to a poll published last week, 62% of the Israeli population believes that it is time for those responsible for the October 7 failures to resign. In Palestine, medics managed to save a baby from the belly of her mother who was killed during an Israeli bombardment in Rafah, south of the Gaza Strip. Sabrine Judah arrived in the world minutes after her mother was killed after the family home was hit by an Israeli airstrike at midnight on Saturday. In addition to her mother, her father and 4-year-old sister were killed in the bombing. However, at the Kuwaiti hospital, where the bodies were taken, medical workers performed an emergency C-section on the woman who was 30 weeks pregnant, saving the life of the newborn. According to authorities, at least two-thirds of the more than 34,000 Palestinians killed by Israel in Gaza have been children and women.
The baby has been treated since yesterday until now. We can say that there is some progress in her state of health, but the situation is still at risk. This respiratory distress syndrome is originally caused by a premature birth. This child should have been in her mother's womb at that time, but she was deprived of this right.
In the United States, activists continue protesting from the campus of the University of Colombia in solidarity with the Palestinian people of the Gaza Strip. University students maintained their protest with tents in an open area of the institution, despite the administration's threat to call back riot police. The group is calling on the school to get rid of corporations that they claim were taking profit from the Israeli military action in Gaza. So far, more than 100 demonstrators have been arrested. There were also demonstrations reported at the University of North Carolina, while the Harvard University Palestine Solidarity Committee announced a strike to express support for the steadfast Colombian students. In the Gaza Strip, rescue teams have recovered 210 bodies after the Israeli occupation forces left the southern city of Han Yunis. Civil defense officials said the bodies, mostly women and children, were found in a mass grave near the Nasser hospital, and it is presumed they were victims of massacres perpetrated by Israeli troops. The agency said that so far 2,000 Palestinians have been reported missing, who may have been killed and buried or kidnapped by the occupation. Since the start of the Israeli siege on October 7th, over 34,000 people have been killed and 76,000 wounded, while thousands of victims still remain on the rubble. The Lebanese resistance movement Hezbollah attacked the Israeli settlement of Shomera in response to the attacks perpetrated by the occupation army against villages and civilian homes in southern Lebanon. In a statement, the movement confirmed that it had attacked a building used by Israeli uniformed forces in the occupied Lebanese town of Tarbika. The resistance fighters further reported the destruction of newly installed surveillance equipment around the Doviv barracks, as well as the firing of heavy Burkan rockets towards an Israeli soldier's position south of the military site. The Lebanese resistance reiterated they will continue until the Tel Aviv regime ceases its actions over Gaza. We have a far short break coming up, but before we invite you to join our WhatsApp community for our English-speaking audience, you can scan the QR code on screen to join directly and share the link to reach more people. Constant news coverage of Latin America and the Caribbean as well as the rest of the world. Stay connected and informed with teleSUR. Far short break, Don't go away. Welcome back. The president of Iran, Ibrahim Raisi, arrived in Pakistan for a meeting with the Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif within the framework of his official visit aimed at promoting security and trade ties. Raisi and Sharif held a private meeting after the Iranian president's arrival in Islamabad. The two sides will discuss a broad agenda to strengthen bilateral ties and boost cooperation in various areas such as trade, connectivity, energy, agriculture, and people-to-people contacts. Prior to his arrival, the President of the Islamic Republic of Iran stressed that the two neighboring countries intend to increase the value of their trade and economic exchanges to $10 billion, given their great capacities. In Burundi, citizens continue to cope with floods, which have left thousands of people evacuated and property damaged. Floodwaters of Lake Tanganyika overwhelmed the port of Bujumbura, the economic capital of Burundi. According to the United Nations, since September, more than 200,000 people have been affected in the country, while some 19,000 houses have been destroyed. Climate experts say that the weather phenomena in Burundi and other countries in the area are part of the extreme conditions related to the El Niño weather pattern.
Since last year, the rain and the water levels have been rising here. Little by little, the land is getting waterlogged. Now, it has reached this level and we have never seen it this bad. It's terrible. It's the first time I've seen it like this in my lifetime.
In China, authorities reported over 11 people missing in the southern province of Canton following recent floods. The Provincial Department of Emergency Management added that a total of 53,741 people were relocated, of which 12,256 had to be urgently resettled. The agency also confirmed that 3 people were found dead in the city of Shaoqing, one of the areas with the highest level of damage caused by the rainfall. Local authorities urged the public to cut off power supply in high-risk areas, as well as to suspend outdoor activities and events. In Spain, authorities announced official results on Sunday's general elections held in the Basque Country Autonomous Community. The Basque Nationalist Party won, and now they have as many seats in parliament as the El Bildu Party, that is 27. The Spanish Socialist Party won 2 more seats for a total of 12, and the Popular Party got 7 seats. Also, the candidate representing Vox got re-elected, and the Sumar Party got 1 seat. Thus, the Socialist Party has become the 3rd leading political force in the Basque Country. Sunday's elections had a 51% turnout. With less than 100 days to go until the start of the Olympic Games in Paris, on Sunday, World Athletic legend Carl Lewis said he believes it will be a fabulous venue.
Oh, first of all, I think Paris can be fabulous, incredible. It's a wonderful country. It's a beautiful city, and I know they're going to integrate the culture and the ideas, and being the 100th anniversary, I think it's going to be an absolute fabulous Olympics.
Olympic champion Paris Jepchirchir won the women's London Marathon on Sunday in a world record time of 2 hours, 16 minutes, 16 seconds for an all-female race. In this sense, the 30-year-old Kenyan beat the women's record of 2 hours, 16 minutes, 17 seconds set by her teammate Mari Keitany in 2017. For her part, Jepchirchir stated that she is very satisfied with the result achieved in her first race of the current year and assured that she is fully motivated and focused on the Olympic Games to be held in Paris.
I'm feeling good. This was the last race for Kenya to select team for Olympics. So I was trying to work extra hard to defend my title in Olympics. Yeah.
We have come to the end of this news brief. You can find these and many other stories on our website at telesurenglish.net. You can also join us on social media, Facebook, X, Instagram, Telegram, and TikTok. For TeleSUR English, I'm Luis Alberto Matos. Thank you for watching.